So we've talked about how the customer journey has changed, and it's no longer this linear life cycle or buying cycle. It is very much a scatter plot almost, because there is so much information by our fingertips, and we are looking for relationships. So if you, and I have clients that use this and they're going to see this and they're going to come back at me, but it's nothing they haven't already heard. When people come into your business for the first time, one of the first things on their intake forms, or one of the first things we ask is, how did you hear about us? And what happens is we contribute that. It's an attribution, and typically the buyer or the customer that's in there is going to say the very last thing, or the tipping point of what brought them in. So they may have seen you on social media, they've probably seen some social ads. The average buyer is seeing 8 to 12 touch points. So one, you need to make sure your strategy is omnipresence. So you need an omni-channel marketing strategy to where you are getting in front of people all the time, because you have to be top of mind. So when they do need it, maybe they do Google it and you have paid search results. So that attribution is going to say, oh, well, I saw you, I Googled you, and you were the first one to pop up. But is that really what got them there? No, it's that friend that told them that you guys serviced them, or they came to you to buy something, or your customer service was great, or they saw you out in the community, they saw you on Facebook, they know some of your employees. But those attribution channels a lot of times get lost because they are not the last point or the tipping point of what made somebody come to you. So when we're asking just that simple question, and we are basing our marketing strategy on that single attribution model, we're going to miss things. We're never going to funnel them down to that tipping point, because the buyer journey has changed. It's no longer linear, and we need to acknowledge that. So we really have to move past this last click attribution thought where it gives 100% of the credit to whatever closed the deal. That's not what brought them there. That's just what closed the deal, and we're missing out on so much. So what we do is then we look at the budget and we say, okay, well, 9 out of 10 customers say they saw me on Google. But if we take a step back from that, why would they be looking for you on Google? Because they probably saw you somewhere in the community, on social media, on an advertisement, on OTT, on a commercial. They've seen you somewhere. Even if you're just doing paid ads, if they don't recognize your name or have some kind of name recognition, they're usually not going to click on that. They're going to scroll down to the organic results because of a trust factor. So we do this a lot with reporting too. We turn in reports that show your attribution scale. And a lot of times, we'll be giving those to the board members or the senior marketing executives, and they look at that and they see that, well, we're not getting attribution from social media or blogs, a lot of times podcast or OTT, because they're non-clickable. But those are your relationship building, your authority building programs that lead to the closing. So they are on paper zero attribution, zero return on investment. But do we know that they have a return? Absolutely, because buyers buy from people that they trust. They want to do business with those that give back, that trust, and it is always continuing building that trust. The the best marketers invest in what customers really want and what they reference. And that is typically not going to align directly with that attribution channel, because again, that's 100%. Brand awareness doesn't show up in those attribution reports or on that dashboard. Trust doesn't have a conversion pixel. So we really have to look beyond that. We have to expand that attribution modeling. Unfortunately, for dashboards, there's no clear way to do it. Again, because trust doesn't have a pixel, it doesn't have a direct attribution marker, and neither does word of mouth. So even though you can say on your intake, how did you hear about us? It doesn't give a very clear picture, because if somebody recommends somebody to me, I am still going to do my research, and so is the majority of your audience, your buyers, your prospects. They're still going to go and make sure, hey, these people really are legit. They can service me, that I know that they're going to follow up after the sale. So just to be clear, attribution matters, but what we need to expand are how we look at attribution metrics, and know that some of what we are doing is building trust, and that trust is not in attribution, isn't in attribution modeling. So in looking at your reports, don't be so quick to say, oh, well, this has no return on investment. It probably does. You're probably just looking at your attribution wrong. You just have to expand what you're looking at.